let us begin. There's no props really needed. A block may be useful if you often use that for your practice. And then let us lie down onto the backs. We will be active here, so I'd rather have you relax a little bit more at the end of the practice. So we'll begin with the feet on the ground, the arms resting for a moment, a few movements into your shoulders, a few movements into your hips, and then allowing yourself to feel the ground under the feet, under the back, head, shoulders and arms. As you next inhale, lift your right knee up over your chest. Then interlace your hands across the shin, and as you're breathing out, hugging the right knee in towards you. As you might choose to hold it here, if possible, the left leg comes out long. We will have the right hand on the right knee, and with the inhalation, open the left arm and the right knee to opposite sides. And when you're exhaling, swapping the hand on the knee, opening right arm, knee comes across to the left. No force though, just a gentle guidance. We'll repeat that on the inhale, knee opens to the right, left arm. On the exhale, go into the twist, the other arm is opening. We'll repeat that for another round. On the inhale, open body. On the exhale, your twist. Coming back into the center, we'll bring the interlace back around the shin. Make sure it's below the knee joint. We will inhale through the nose. We'll exhale from the mouth and we'll push the shin into our hands as we're lifting the upper body. On the inhale, lie back and knee squeezes to the chest. On the exhale, push the shin into your hands. Some of us might even be able to sit ourselves up. On the inhale, lie down, knee to the chest. Last one, breath out. Push the shin into the hands, maybe sitting up. And on the inhale, lying back down and releasing your arms and stepping the right foot to the ground. Next, in breath, bring your left knee over your chest. Interlace your hands and squeeze the left knee in on the out breath. If it's okay, slide the right leg out long. We will go into the movements, a left hand onto the left knee. On the inhale, open your knee and the right arm opens to the side. On the exhale, take a twist and let the left arm open. Reminder, no force here, this is a movement. On the inhale, opening up. On the exhale, your twist. Go for one more round. Inhaling, open knee, open arm. Exhaling into a twist. As you inhale again, coming to the center, find an interlace around your left shin. Again, make sure you're below the knee. Maybe the interlace has the other finger on top. We go for 3 rounds as we inhale through the nose. And with the exhale, pushing the shin into the hand, lifting the upper body. Inhale, come back, knee to the chest. Exhale, push the shin into the hand. Some of us might be able to sit up. On the inhale, lie down, knee to the chest. And this time, we will sit up as you squeeze the knee forward. Push, 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 and see if you can sit yourself up on your mat. We will change into an easy pose from here. So one leg comes in front of the other. We will allow our fingertips to touch down behind us. And we'll start to squeeze the shoulder blades, lifting through the sternum, opening through the heart space. Inhale here. And as you're exhaling, push off your fingertips, lean forward, slide the hands out in front, plant the hands down in front and neutralize your neck. On your next out breath, sliding the hands forward to wherever is still comfortable for you, wherever your sit bones are still on the ground, and maybe lowering the head. Walking your hands back towards your feet. Take a deep breath in, either just change your legs or lift your arms and extend your legs up, happy pose. And then crossing the legs in a different way as you bring your fingertips back down behind your back. Start with the shoulders moving backwards, lift through the sternum, open your heart and take a deep breath. And then as you're exhaling, push forward on your fingertips. Let the hands slide around, plant them down or rest your fingertips, neutralizing your back. Inhaling. And when you're exhaling, sliding the hands forward and softening to the front, maintaining sit bones on the floor. And you might notice that this side could be a bit different. As we slide the hands back up into sitting, take your feet out towards the sides and find your way to either sit on your heels, which would be preferred, or to stand on the knees if that's too much for yours. We'll bring the hands together in front of the chest, palms touching. On the next inhale, lift your hips up, open your arms as if you want to catch the sun. And as you're breathing out, land your hands down for all fours. While you inhale, lift your tail and lift your gaze. And as you're breathing out, rounding into the cat. Let's repeat that on the inhale, lifting tail and gaze. On the exhale, rounding into the cat. And as your next inhale, slither along the floor, finding your cobra. And as you're breathing out, round your back and sit again towards your heels. Let your hands slide in as you're curling back up into sitting. And bringing your hands back together at the heart space. I might change that movement slightly. On the inhale, lift your hips up, open your arms up. On the exhale, plant the hands down, all four stance. Inhale, lifting tail and gaze. Exhaling, cat. One more round, inhaling, lifting tail and gaze. Exhaling for the cat. And then releasing your spine into neutral. Please include the head and the neck. And when you're next exhaling, squeeze your right hip to the right shoulder, and the gaze down to the right hip. Pause. And then center yourself as you next breathe in and repeat that to the left. Left hip squeezes up, left shoulder, left gaze. The gaze comes down towards the hip. Good squeeze into the side of the body. And then as you inhale, next center yourself. If possible, you will lift your feet and shins off the ground, rolling over the knees this time, or a cobra as your alternative. Otherwise, sink your hips, open your heart, be strong in the arms, right out of the shoulders. One more breath. And then rounding your way back into an extended child's pose. Curling your spine up into a seat, and one last time for now, palms touching in front of the chest. On the inhale, lift your hips up, reach your arms wide open. On the exhale, landing your hands down. Now your choice is to stay here on all fours, or you can tuck the toes under as you breathe in to lift tail and gaze. And then for the out breath, rounding and extending into downward facing dog. Very welcome to walk this down dog out, pedaling through the legs, swing your hips, maybe walk out through your arms. Get some movement into this shape. And then keep walking as you bring your feet forward into a standing forward bend. Letting hands slide up, shins for a half lift, inhale. And on the out breath, folding down completely. Stay there just for a moment. Knees can be soft, arms can be hanging, head can be heavy. And we'll wait for another out breath, just slowly engaging lower abdomen to support your back as you roll up slowly, coming into standing. Let the shoulders shrug back a little as you come to stand. We'll take an inhale and just reach up with the left arm. And on the out breath, then bending across to the sides. Soften the knees. And roll the upper body forward. And up again. As we come back into standing, shoulders shrug back one time as we inhale, lifting the right arm now. And with the out breath, bending to the side. Bending the knees as we roll the arm forward. And curling ourselves back up into standing, shoulders shrugging back once more. We'll take an inhale, left arm is lifting again. We'll repeat on the out breath, folding to the side. And this time, as we bend our knees, we're coming all the way down into our standing forward fold. On the inhale now, take a half lift. On the out breath now, step your left foot into a lunge. You can lower the left knee to the floor if you prefer. Otherwise, soften the left knee as you inhale, collapse this lunge. And when you're breathing out, start to roll up from there. On the inhale now, lifting both arms up. And on an out breath, just settling into this lunge. While you might reach up with your gaze on your next inhale, let your right arm circle back on the out breath and place the flat hand into your lower back. Your gaze can stay forward if your neck is in trouble. Otherwise, might you look up into the left hand and reach the left hand further up and back. Creating a bit more space, potentially in the left hip flexor, left quads. As you inhale, be here. As you exhale, reach your left hand down onto the mat. Inhale now to roll your right shoulder back into a twisted lunge. And you could draw back on the right hip and the left heel. If you want more, the right arm can extend to the ceiling. We will swing the right arm back and down onto the mat. You'll join those with the knee on the floor as the left knee lands. You can keep toes tucked under or flatten out the foot. And we'll reach both arms up again, breathing in. We're in a kneeling lunge now. On the next out breath, circle the left hand down. Either place that one into your lower back, or you could even reach for the heel of the foot. Lifting through the heart, maybe through the gaze, into a half camel shape. We will release both of our hands back down onto the mat, stepping the right knee back and retreating our hips to the heels for an extended child's pose. Inhaling here fully. And when you're next exhaling, rounding your back up to come and sit again on the heels, bringing the hands together in front of the chest. You can still stand on your knees alternatively. With your next inhalation, lift your hips back up, reach the arms open. On the out breath, landing on all fours. Tucking the toes under as you inhale, lifting tail and gaze. Either stay here or knees off the ground, exhaling, downward facing dog. On the inhale, we'll all roll forward into a plank or a kneeling plank, and we'll hold that for a moment. And you might choose now to lift your left foot off the floor. You can lower this foot back down over the knee, or you can lower down onto the mat from here as we're breathing out. Taking your hands wider than the mat for striking cobra. As we inhale, wave it up, lifting your heart, let your shoulders, elbows soften. Inhaling. Exhaling. Right shoulder to the center, gaze to the left elbow. On the inhale, lifting. Left shoulder to the floor, gaze to the right elbow. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, release that down onto the mat. Let the forehead rest down. Slide your hands down by the sides of your ribcage. On the in-breath, push it up. On the exhale, sitting back to the heels again into your extended child's pose. We will curl back up into sitting on an out breath. Touching the hands together in front of the chest. Just sitting on the heels, keep a steady gaze point. With the next inhale, rise off your heels, open your arms. On the exhale, land the hands down all fours. Inhale, tuck toes, tail gaze lifting. Stay on your knees or breathe out and come back to down dog. With your next in-breath now, lift the left leg again. Lead out through the heel of the foot so the pelvis stays aligned. Then point the toes. And when you're breathing out, draw your knee and nose together underneath your body. And then landing the foot forward between the hands. Come to fingertips. Lengthen your spine as you inhale here. And with the exhale, then step it forward, all the way into a forward bend. On the inhale, Rise to a half lift. And breathe out to a forward bend. Stay for the in-breath and engage the lower belly while you're exhaling, rolling slowly into standing. Take your shoulders back and down as you arrive at the front of your mat in a mountain shape. On the next inhale, lifting your right arm. On the exhale, bending to the side. Bend your knees rather deeply as you roll down into a forward bend. On the in-breath, come to a half lift. On the out-breath, step your right foot back into a lunge. Knee can be on the floor here again. As you inhale, collapse your lunge, soften. And as you exhale, roll it up into an upright position. Lifting the arms on the in-breath and settling into the lunge on the out-breath. As you inhale here, the gaze might lift. And as you exhale, circling the left arm back and placing the hand flat into your lower back. Keep a reach up into the right hand fingertips, maybe even a little bit backwards, while the right knee stays soft. We're aiming for some length coming through that right side down towards the knee. Inhale. And as you lean forward, bringing your right hand down towards the ground or just the fingertips, who knows. As you next inhale, roll the left shoulder back. Stay here or extend your left arm. As you hold a twisted lunge, guide your left hip back and your right heel. Check in with your breath. And then let the left arm swing down to the side of the foot. Lower the right knee down. Toes tucked under or foot flat. And we're reaching both arms up again. We're in a kneeling lunge, shoulders relaxed, gaze forward or lifted. Inhale here. And as you exhale now, circle your right arm back. Either bring the hand again flat into the lower back or reach all the way towards your heel. By this half camel, it's very similar. We're reaching up and lightly back with the left hand. But our main lift here comes from the sternum. We'll release both hands down, either side of the front foot. Step the knee back and extend it, a child's pose, as a forward bend after all of the standing back bends. Curl yourself up to sit upon your heels or stand on your knees and bring your hands back in Anjali Mudra in front of the chest. Settle your gaze with all of the flows, keeping the gaze steady. And with the next inhale, lifting the hips up, open the arms to catch the sunlight. On the exhale, landing the hands down onto the mat. While you inhale, tuck your toes under, lift your tail and gaze. Option to stay on all fours as you round your back or to lift the knees for a downward facing dog. Keep moving your dogs if you prefer, but keep them steady if you're ready for that. On the next in-breath now, roll the spine forward into your plank or kneeling plank. We'll pause here again. This time, maybe the right leg is lifting. You can keep the leg off the floor or even bring both knees down as we're landing on the floor again. Releasing the hands back, ready for your striking cobra. Come up onto the fingertips outside of the mat, tops of the feet in the floor. Inhale, wave your body up. Find your cobra as you relax your elbows and shoulders down. Inhale. On the exhale, take the left shoulder down to the center and look towards the right elbow. On the inhale, lift back into center, and then right shoulder down to the middle and gaze towards the left elbow. Inhale, center yourself again. And exhale, release the forehead down to the ground. Sliding your hands back by the sides of your floating ribs. Breathe in, come to all fours. Breath out, return to extended child's pose. We're rolling back up to sit on the heels or stand on the knees, and hands come back together for a steady gaze in our hero pose. On the next breath in, lift off the heels. One more time, open your arms to catch the sun. And when you're breathing out, landing your hands down. As you inhale, tuck your toes, lift tail and gaze. Same here, stay or round your body up into downward facing dog. We will now lift the right leg up and back, heel leading so the pelvis is in balance. And with the next exhale, draw the knee into the chest, maybe landing the foot all the way forward. Come to fingertips as you're lengthening your spine and a standing forward bend on the out breath. I invite you to actually stay in this standing forward bend for a while. So you might want to adjust the width of your stance. It's really comfortable and solid, maybe hip distance. And if your hands barely or not touching the floor at all, the only thing you need to do is lean the weight a little bit forward in the feet. You might want to keep your knees at a bend and lower your gaze between the knees. If you're quite comfortable with the forward fold, you might lift your feet up one at a time, slide the hands underneath them, and let your toes tickle your wrists as you stand on the palms of your hands. The weight here goes into the hands as well, so the tailbone is nice and high, the head is low, and we'll stay here for 3 long, full yogi breaths. Once you've completed those, your hands are underneath the feet, take them out first. We'll all come into a half lift on the inhale to extend our spine. And then we'll soften back down into a forward fold where we stay for the inhale and use our lower belly muscles for the out breath and to round ourselves very slowly up into a standing shape. Now you might want to turn yourself sideways and maybe to the place where you've got the length of the mat to your left. Might not be able to see me. That's a matter of trusting what you're hearing. So we will lift our left knee up. And you can stay here and just touch your hands together. Or you can interlace your hands and squeeze the knee up to the chest. Maintain a tall stance if that's possible. If you feel that's where you're at today, keep your knee bent. Otherwise, take a pistol grip of your left big toe. And we'll all take the right hand into the side of the waist. Whether you're holding on to the left knee or your left big toe is up to you. If you're holding onto the knee, hold. If you're on your toes, extend the leg forward. We all put a subtle smile on wherever we are, don't feel pressured. And on the next inhale, we'll open the leg out towards the side. Whether that's with a bent knee or with a straight leg is up to you. If you're holding onto your big toe, change that to the knee as you bend it. Point your toes and step the foot out wide. We've got about 1 meter stance. I don't manage to step much further, and I assume you can't either, so that's ideal. Let's turn our left toes out and take an inhale as we'll extend the arms up. Moving into a triangle on the hour breath, we're starting to tilt. Maintain length in the side of the waist and point your fingertips potentially up and down. Upper arm too strong, you can always place the hand into the side of the waist. Feel really how the feet are engaging your legs, how that can give you length in the sides of the body. Now, while we take a next inhale, bend into your left knee, and then bring that all around into an exalted warrior shape. So your left knee is bent now, and the left arm is reaching over the head, and either you're looking into the palm of the hand, or you're starting to look back and down. To release this shape, bend into the right knee, bring the left hand towards the right knee, and then let both hands come down all the way over towards your left foot and start to sink into the left knee, while we're really encouraging maybe a wider stance and a stretch to the inner thigh. We'll walk our hands over while we're lifting the right heel and bring the right knee down to the ground as we lift the sole of the left foot and sliding the heel out. We're pressing forward with the ball of the foot. We're lowering the nose towards the knee. Stay with the length over the left leg. Keep pushing out through the ball of the foot. And then we'll land the foot back down, tuck the back toes under again, lift the knee, lengthen the spine, and we'll step the foot to the front and allow ourselves to fold. On the inhale, a half lift. On the out breath, a forward bend. Inhale to stay, and once more switch the lower belly on, just to exhale and curl yourself up to standing. Roll your shoulders back and turn yourself sideways for your mountain shape. So now you have the length of the mat to the right. As we lift our right knee up. You can just stay here, touch the hands together if that's yours. Or you can hug the right knee up to the chest. Maintain a tall stance. Same choices here. Right hand on right knee. or right fingers in a pistol grip around the right big toe. If you're holding onto the big toe, you might extend your leg forward. Otherwise, keep a hold of the knee and still the left hand in the side of the waist. And as we're inhaling, the leg opens to the side. We'll all bring a bend into the knee, pointing the foot. And we'll step this foot out wide. As we extend the legs, our stand's about 1 meter. Feet apart, arms long, inhale. As you exhale, reach for your triangle. So find an open chest. Feel the strength coming from the feet. And really engage the feet into the ground to maintain the strength in your legs. While there's a lot of length in the side of your body. Notice the quality of your breath. And as you next inhale, bring a bend into the front knee. And then reach that all the way back into an exalted warrior shape. Maintaining a bend in the right knee, while the right hand fingers are now reaching up and back. Left hand is very gently resting down, no weight bearing. And to release from here, bend into your left knee. Take the top hand in the direction of the knee, and then bring the hands down on the inside of your right foot. You might slide the left leg a little bit out as you ground down through the left foot, potentially feeling some opening around the hips, inner thigh. Then walk your hands across either side of the foot, lift your heel and lower your knee down. And as you lift the sole of the right foot, slide the heel a little bit forward. So naturally the hands are in a more comfortable position. Press out through the ball of the foot. And as you're exhaling, lower your nose towards the knee and then stay here for a few breaths. Notice what you're feeling in your body. And then landing the sole of the foot back down, swing the back foot around or find a more elegant way to sit down on your mat. We'll extend our legs out wide. And we're pointing our toes up to face the ceiling. Now, this is a shape that is either your favorite or your least favorite, I assume. And if it's your least favorite, take a rolled up mat, blanket or cushion and pop that underneath your buttocks, just for a little bit of help with the shape. Keep your hands resting on your thighs or on your knees and just draw up through the crown of the head. Squeeze the shoulders a little bit back as you inhale. And then as you're exhaling, begin to sway from side to side. And you can keep your hands in touch with the legs, giving them a gentle massage as you're moving side to side. And some might be able to reach all the way to the feet. You could also bend your knees if you need to, keeping the spine relatively long as you're moving side to side, and find a point where you think you can't go any further. Stay at that point. Hands can rest wherever they landed just now, keeping the shoulders open towards the front. And then bring your gaze gently down towards the floor. You can close the eyes here. Keep the toes pointing upwards and stay here for a few breaths. So really engaging here what happens with your out breaths Exploring your possibilities in the shape and making these adjustments that you figure out for yourself. Could be tiny, could be a large bend in the knees. And then we're going to begin to sway again, just side to side as we make our way back up into sitting. We will bring our feet in, and I recommend to step them down at hip distance for a tabletop. If you want to go stronger, the hands will be the same. We will place them behind us. Fingers might point forward in the direction of the buttocks, or you could step up onto fists. And if you want more from there, you can bring your legs together, straighten them, and point your toes out for an upward facing plank. Lift is the same as we take a breath in, squeeze the buttocks and lift your hips up. Gaze can remain forward, or you can guide the head gently backwards. Hold here for a few breaths if possible, and gently sit down when you feel it is enough. Maybe one last breath there, and then gently releasing the buttocks down, sliding the legs out in front. Grab your socks, grab your jumpers if you want them. Take a deep breath in, and then roll all the way down on the back on the breath out. For our last shape today, and with that a light inversion, happy baby. So bring your knees up, squeeze them up towards your shoulders, so nice and wide. And you can either choose, if your feet seem too far away, to bring the hands on the backs of the thighs and lift your ankles over your knees. Or you could take your arms to the inside of your knees and take your hands to the outer edges of the feet, and then drawing down. That's what we'll all have in common. We're drawing our knees down outside of our shoulders. Your choice, whether you keep yourself here in a still position or you're rocking the body from side to side. Notice what feels better. Maybe it's a mixture. Stay for one last breath before you let your feet come back in together. Bring your knees in together over your chest. Give them a last squeeze in. And then landing your feet down onto the mat. You can keep them mat distance and let the knees fall in for a constructive resting pose. Or you can slide the legs out and open the arms out, just like everyone else, for full Shavasana. Stay there and find the stillness in your body. Once you've found your body is still and restful, lying on the floor, you could choose to close the eyes. Or maybe it's more a steady gaze toward the ceiling. Feeling the breath moving, the physical body. The touch of air in the nostrils. If your mind struggles to stay focused, Silently repeat in your mind. Inhale, exhale. Pick the card for us today from the healing cards. It says, the individual optimizes the universe. Where exactly does your influence on life end? We will never know the full power or consequences of your actions and choices. Enhance the whole of life today through your actions. You've got some time left. You can stay in Shavasana and extend your practice. Otherwise, begin to deepen your breath and some light movement, such as through fingers and toes. Maybe have a stretch. And then finding your way over onto your side, or you could sit up over the front of the body, joining me in a seated shape, where we touch the palms of the hands together in front of the chest. Once more, lifting up through the crown of the head. We'll finish just with an Om today as we inhale and exhale first. And then inhaling for the Om. Listening to the sound, to the vibrations, while you bow your head gently to your heart. Maybe setting what the card said about your actions as an intention for the day. For extending to each other. Namaste. I will show you the card if you would like to see the picture. You're most welcome to run away and continue into your day. That's the picture for today's card.